evening, and welcome to another edition of the Daily Deuce. I am John Webster. Tonight, my partner, Gary Graves, is unable to make it. Gary will be back with us on the next show, but we have a special guest to help us get through tonight. The one, the only, Henry Discombobulating Jones. HJ, what's going on, man?
We're ready to do it, so let's step to it. It's all good, man, because it's all God. How you doing, J-Dub?
I'm doing great, man. Before we get into it, man, I would be remiss if I didn't say hey to my main man, the one that makes it happen, the one that keeps us in line, the one that drives the car, John Pitt.
Yeah, it's early in the week, but a lot has happened, guys. A lot to talk about.
Hey, JP. Yes, it is.
Tell you what, man, we're going to start off with something that went down Saturday night. Lamont Roach, Javante Tank Davis.
Yeah.
I want to get your thoughts. I'm going to have to ask some questions, man, because there's one person that I always talk to about boxing, and that would be the person I'm talking to now. Explain to us, man, what happened. I mean, I heard it was a good fight. I wasn't able to see it, but just tell me what went on. Just talk to us.
Well, I got to preface that first. A lot has been going on in Javante Tate Davis' life. You know, a lot of moving parts, a lot of changes. Supposedly he turned Muslim, but I haven't seen, him actually practicing that. So there's a question about that there. He had another child. He got married. He has a strange relationship with the guy that has gotten him to that point, Calvin Ford, his trainer, longtime mentor, father figure. And then in the fight itself, and to your point, those two guys know each other well from the amateur ranks. So Lamont Roach Jr. didn't come in intimidating like most of Tank's previous opponents, and he fought a perfect game plan. And I think Tank might have taken him a little light and got surprised. Fire was returned in the ring that, maybe Tank didn't prepare for him. Lamont has gotten bigger, stronger. And then Tank took a knee. And that's where all this controversy had begun. So the referee was supposed to take 2 points away. A point for the round for taking the knee. And if Lamont wins that round, then that's 2 points. That actually changed the whole fight because they called it a majority draw, but had those 2 points been taken away, Lamont would be the new champion. So in essence, that referee's faux pas, his error, cost Lamont Roach the title and millions. So they're thinking about, they're appealing it. The Roach camp is appealing it, but from what I've seen over the years, they're not going to just reverse that decision. They will order an immediate rematch, and if Tank does not take the immediate rematch, they strip him of the title, and then Lamont could possibly fight for that same title in his next fight. So that's where we are.
Wow, man, you start this off with a bang, man. You ain't playing.
Man, you know how I am. You know me. You've been knowing me for 30 plus years. I don't pull punches either.
Let's go back and break this down a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna come back to the outside issues in a second. Let's talk about the ring stuff first.
Okay.
What you said, you used a term, fire was returned, and he may not have been used to that, meaning Davis may not have been used to people coming back from his shots. What was the approach that Davis was taking in the ring, and what was the approach that Roach was taking? What styles were they using?
Yeah, and that's a good point. Styles make fights. Lamont was not intimidated. He was not backtracking. He was standing his ground, and he was countering Tank. Tank's not used to that. He has that world class speed, those fast twitch muscles. But Lamont was up to the task, and as I said, they have history, so he knew pretty much what Tank was going to do. Tank is Tank. He wants to counter shot you, get you in a position to make a mistake, counter you to hit you with a big shot. Lamont was not there for it, and he actually ate some of those shots, and that might have really, I'm not going to say intimidated Tank, but that might have got his attention that, oh, this guy's not going lightly tonight.
Because most of the time when Tank Davis unloads to that arsenal, they're going to sleep, right?
Good night, Irene. Didn't happen this time. So
explain the controversy.
Well, basically,
Tank Davis
anytime.
Tank Davis said he took a knee. Everywhere else I'm reading says that's really not correct. There should have been a knockdown, ruled a knockdown, or 2 points taken away, however you want, whatever the proper terminology is.
Yeah, there's no timeout in boxing, man. You can't just voluntarily and willingly take a knee and everything's okay. It don't work like that. Now, if there was an issue, he said it was grease in his eye from having his hair done, recently. Okay, possibly. But that's the referee's determination, to stop the action, take him over to the corner, and have the corner man, give him a towel or towel him off and get the grease out of his eye. You can't basically say, oh, time out, take a knee, and then walk to your corner, and then the corner man comes up. Those are grounds for disqualification, actually.
Okay.
So
and all that is what transpired, right?
That's what transpired. But that referee is a proven, experienced guy. But I think in the moment he might have panicked too. So it's going to be a lot of criticism, directed towards him, for not handling that correctly and costing that man that bout.
So for both of them, what's next? I know you're saying a rematch is in order.
Should be.
I would like to see a rematch, but you know how that works in boxing, man. There's no guarantee on rematch, and there may be more money for one of them to make Tank Davis by going to fight somebody else. Would I be right in saying that?
That's exactly right, and that's what he's talking about, fighting Lomachenko, which would be a higher payday for him than a rematch with Roach. But if we do get the rematch, we're hoping to be at the Capital One Arena, sometime this summer. By all rights, man, fair is fair. He should entertain that rematch, because his persona, his image is tainted right now. If you duck Roach to go somebody else, people are going to say, oh, maybe you don't think you can beat him. So you got to set this thing right.
That would be beautiful if they came to DC for the rematch. I would love that. You know what else I would love would make my night complete?
To have me announce it.
Well, at least let me say it, HJ. Doggone, man. You can't be taking everything away from me, man.
I know you so well. I know you so well. Look, man, we got 30 years of history, man. I saw your thought bubble.
But would that be a possibility?
It's always a possibility, but it's always a challenge. When TV comes to town, all of a sudden, I become invisible. You understand? So I might have to get political, and this is a very political atmosphere right now for everybody. Maybe I'm gonna have to mount up some opposition, to get my point heard.
Let me ask you this. Is DC a big enough venue for that type of rematch? Because, that would be quite the rematch.
Well, Capital One Arena holds the same amount of people as Barclays Center. So why not?
Let me say it. Okay. Let me say it a different way. I understand attendance. Okay. I get that.
All right.
And you're absolutely correct. But I'm talking about, like when you go to Vegas and you got these fights in Vegas, you got a lot going on around you that you can do. When you go up to the Barclays Center, you got a lot around you can do. It's a fight type of atmosphere. I think DC is a very good town. I think they could hold it and do a good job. But I'm asking, do you think others who make those decisions will find DC to be a big enough venue, not the arena, but a big enough venue within the community to have something like this?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, Mayor Bowser is designating DC to be the capital city for entertainment. So there are a
Okay.
lot of people coming together to make those things happen, to bring bigger events here to the district. And I think she saw it for herself a couple years ago when Tank fought at Capital One Arena. It set a box office record of $5 million, which beat the Rolling Stones, who were there.
Mhm.
So she see there's money to be made. So yeah, um, different forces and factions will come together to have a lot of pre-fight events and post-fight events, to draw the necessary crowd and entertain them, other than just the fight.
Last question I'll ask you about this fight. You mentioned earlier, well, maybe the last question. You mentioned earlier trainer Calvin Ford, correct?
Yes,
Was he at the fight or are they totally estranged?
he was there. He was there, but he was there physically. Let's put it that way. But the local guy that heads the headbangers, Barry Hunter, was the lead corner person.
Oh, Barry Hunter, DC's own.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know what that's all about at this point. I don't, you know, I don't.
Right.
I
And I'm
will
not,
I will find out, because I'm close to all of them. So eventually, I will uncover that. But at this point, I don't really know what the dynamics are.
if they come back to a rematch, as it is right now, with the players in their positions right now, does that work for Tank or does he still struggle? Meaning with the estrangement with Calvin Ford and Barry taking on a different role in the corner, does it work or they need to make some readjustments before the next fight?
Very good question. I don't have the answer to that. I don't know. I don't know. But obviously, something's going to have to change. Doesn't seem like Tank has that fire anymore. That's what made him great early. He had that
Mm-hmm.
fire, that rage, that Mike Tyson type mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And right
Mm-hmm.
now, it seems like he's, comfortable, sleeping on silk sheets, as we say, driving Lambos and got condos and, iced out. I mean, ugh,
When you start changing that lifestyle, those punches start hurting a little bit more.
they do. And he said he wanted to retire. So anytime you start talking about early retirement like that, that means your mind is not completely on this thing. This is not a game. You don't play boxing.
You have the crystal ball. What do you see coming up next for these two guys? What would you like to see come up next for these two guys?
I would like to see an immediate rematch at Capital One Arena sooner than later. Um, and Tank is talking to the guy over in Saudi Arabia, Turkey Al Sheikh, about going over there, fighting possibly Lomachenko. But this is going to get you. I'm going to throw a trivia question at you. What would be the biggest grossing fight of all time involving Tank against who?
You got me on that. What would it
No, I
be?
don't. It's a circus act. It's a circus act for sure.
You
But
talking about you talking about that Paul guy?
no, like bigger than that. Bigger than that. Plus, he's out of his weight class. Bigger than that. Come on now.
You got me, HJ. Who is it?
The mentor against the protege.
Floyd Mayweather?
Yes, sir.
Wait a
Yes,
minute.
sir.
Wait a minute. You're
Yes,
telling me
sir.
you
Yes,
telling me
sir.
that there's a possibility that Tank will fight Floyd Mayweather?
He been trying to get it. He been trying to get it. Floyd went into the locker room, the dressing room after the fight. Tank looks up and said, "Oh, I guess you came in here to say I told you so or something." And Floyd said, "No, no, I just wanted, say, you got to come back from it. That's all. Everybody takes a loss." Tank said, "I ain't take a loss. It was a draw." Floyd said, "Yeah, all right, okay."
Wow. Hey man, you
So
you
yeah,
re- you really bringing it on this now. Now, how if that happens, it has to happen in the next 1 or 2 years. How old would Floyd
that's
Mayweather be?
yeah. He would, but you got to understand. Proud in his close to mid 40s, but you got to understand he lives in shape. He don't drink. He don't smoke. He works out every day. He's obsessed with it. So he's living for, and he still does exhibitions. You know that. So yeah, he would. I mean, as far as business, nobody has done it better. He's the blueprint. So this fight would get the average person's attention, and don't even have to be a boxing fan. It would get the world's attention.
I'll say this to you. I agree with you. It would get everybody's attention. But what I'll also say, and this is where I may deviate a little bit off the road, and I never doubt the things you tell me about boxing. But the one thing I'll say, age, that old man, that age thing has never lost a fight. And
Undefeated. Okay.
one thing that I will always say, when you get older, you get stronger. That, in my opinion, is why George Foreman was so good. He didn't lose speed. He never had speed, but
True.
he just got stronger, and he was already unbelievable strong anyway.
Yeah.
So with Mayweather, I know Mayweather stays in shape. Yeah,
Yeah.
stays in shape, and I know he does his workout.
Yeah.
But that speed will not. I don't think the speed he has in his 20s and early 30s will still be there.
And I agree with that. But all things being equal, Tank, as we saw in this last fight, he's lost a lot too.
Yeah, yeah.
So 6 of one, half dozen of the other. It makes for an entertaining matchup. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you. It makes for an entertaining matchup, and I'll also agree with what you said at first. Highest grossing fight ever because that
Ever.
would sell everything.
Oh my goodness. Pay per view would be off the charts.
You know, it would probably, for me, just for me now, I'm getting ready to say something to you. It would probably be for me, like me watching Marvin Hagler fight Ray Leonard.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you was gonna say that. Your man crush, Sugar Ray Leonard. One of the greatest of all time though. Take nothing away from him.
Hey, he's a bad mama
Oh
jamma,
my
man.
goodness, yes. You know.
Well, let's slide into another bad mama jamma.
All right.
This guy named Debo Samuel just got
Mm,
traded to the Washington Commanders. Come
yeah,
on, man, talk to me about it. What do you think?
yeah. I always liked his playing style at San Fran. He runs hard. He's got a
Mm-hmm.
chip on his shoulder. He's
Mm-hmm.
versatile. He's a wide receiver and a running back. So
Mm-hmm.
it gives Jaden Daniels another explosive weapon, to stretch the field for Terry McLaurin, whoever else they bring in. And I don't think they're through yet. So this is a team that others and free agents want to come to. So I think they're gonna gear up to do something, magnificent in the next couple of years.
Now, I've always liked Debo Samuel,
Hmm.
but I've noticed the last couple years he slid down a little bit. His
Hmm.
production has not been the same.
Hmm.
But I'll also say this year, the entire 49er team slid down in production, not just
True.
Debo.
Right.
But I guess you got to figure out. You got Debo. You can line him up in so many places. You can line him up as a slot back. You can line him up as a wide receiver. You can line him up in the backfield. You
Mhm.
can line him up as a wildcat. There's a
Yeah.
lot you can do with him. And I
Yeah.
believe the Commanders will use every option to be useful with him.
Hmm.
But I guess what I want to make sure of is you got enough footballs for everybody because now you got McLaurin. You got Debo. You got Zach Ertz. you got Bates, you got what's my man's name? Diami,
Brown.
yeah,
Hmm.
Diami Brown, and
Hmm.
you got Zacchaeus there.
Okay.
Running back, you got Robinson, and you got Eckler back there. You're going to have to make some adjustments. You're going to have to make
Well, the
some
adjustments
adjustments.
that's going to be made is not everybody's going to be brought back.
Yeah, that's a good
You know,
point.
yeah,
That's a good
you know,
point.
so it's going to be cream of the crop rising to the top. And as I said, they're not through with free agency, so don't be surprised to have some equally as big names coming to this team.
What else do you think they need?
Oh, they definitely need another running back. They need a offensive lineman, and they need a edge rusher. You know, and they need somebody else in that backfield, defensive backfield. You
Okay.
know, because we think
So
that Benjamin St. Juice, I liked him at first, but I could see now that he's not the answer. He's not.
let me ask you this in regards to St. Juice. I think he's playing out of position. What do I mean by that? Before they got Lattimore, St. Juice was playing the number one receiver slot. He was checking the other team's best receiver. I think St. Juice can still be useful, but he's a nickel back, not a starting cornerback. What are your thoughts?
You're right about that. You know, he's tall, he's rangy. Yeah, I would put him at free or strong safety. You know, he got burnt a lot at corner. He did. You
Mhm.
know, they used his speed and his height against him. He wasn't able to stop on the dime. You know, so I think you're right. He's out of position. So I would keep him on the roster, though. I'd keep him on
Yeah.
the roster.
Now you mentioned, some. You said offensive lineman, some defensive lineman. Well, no, you said the edge rusher. Do you
Yeah.
get them through free agency, or do you go and make some more, or you go get them through the draft, or do you make a trade?
Well, I think Commanders got the third most cap space in the league,
Hmm.
and they got a
Yep.
whole lot of draft choices that they can leverage. And you might not like this, but I'd give up several of those draft choices and open up the bank account, and I bring in Miles Garrett. I want to win now. He's going to the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about it.
Well, I think they have the money for it. I think Miles Garrett is a proven very good player, but I guess I'm not sure I want to back up the Brinks truck for him on as an edge rusher. Now he's good. I'm not taking
No, he's
anything from
great.
him.
He's
Yeah,
great.
but what I do, I look at that little blueprint with the team up the road, up 95. They wear green. They just won a Super Bowl. The Eagles,
Okay.
and you notice their four linemen drafted them.
Hmm.
They drafted. I'm thinking maybe you draft some linemen. You draft a couple linemen, and then you already picked up one free agent, and now you go and you maybe draft the offensive lineman or pick an offensive lineman up in the draft, late pick, but maybe get a free agent there. And I guess my thing would be um, I would get free agent. I'd want an edge rusher and another tackle. If they're going 4-3, I need another interior lineman and I need an edge rusher. So with me saying that is basically what I'm saying. I can't empty the bank for Miles Garrett because they need two or three players on defense.
Okay. Point well taken. Okay.
So
So if you go the draft route, then you're talking about developing these people, and it's not a win now situation per se. It's going to take them
no,
time.
I still like you. I want to win next year. You're 12-5. You can't go way back to 5-12.
That's right.
You
That's right.
still go, but you draft players, and I'm confident in this GM Adam Peters. You draft players who you know can come in here now, sign a contract, and can play.
Hmm.
You make sure you don't draft people who may be holdouts
Right.
because a rookie can't hold out. Rookie got to get out there and do some stuff.
That's
So
right.
you need he. I think he'll find the right players, but they got to be able to come in here, sign that contract, and get on that field now and produce. They got to.
I agree.
We got to. And that defense they needed. They give up too many yards
Yeah.
on the ground.
Yeah.
It's like a sieve sometimes with the running backs
Yeah.
going through them. So you need to get an interior lineman. You
Hmm.
need to shore that up. You need to get an edge rusher. And you see, you get an edge rusher, that makes your secondary better, man. That
True.
means Lattimore's not trying to check somebody for 4 and 5 seconds. St. Juice is not holding somebody for 3 and 2 seconds. You
Right.
know,
Right. Right.
and I also believe I can't never say the kid's name right. He played at Michigan in college. Sarah Still, Sarah
Stan,
Still,
Stan Russell. He's
yeah,
good. I like him. I
and
like.
he's going to be even better next season.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Even even better, man.
Well, what
But
about the hometown kid possibly coming back? The defensive end with the dreadlock.
Chase Young, Chase
Yeah.
Young,
What about that?
I think he'd be a great edge rusher. I think without a doubt he would do a wonderful job. But I also think he's probably happier staying away from the organization right now. The way it ended.
Mm.
Ended with some disagreement between him and the organization. I'm not saying who's right or who's wrong. I think the kid is a very good player. I think he's got a high engine, and I think wherever he goes, he can make a difference. Do I think he can make a difference here? Absolutely. Use him strictly as an edge rusher because he can rush that passer.
Right.
But I just don't know him coming back here if that's something he would really want to do. So, you
Mm.
know.
Interesting.
But let's talk about one other subject, man. Let's talk about this NBA
Mm-hmm.
and the Dallas Mavericks. You know, Dallas has been in the news. You know, they made that big trade. They
Mm-hmm.
moved Doncic to the
Mm-hmm.
Lakers. They got Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was going nuts about it. The guy that general manager Nico Harrison said, you know, we need size. This is going to help us win a championship because we're getting bigger, and this is a rim protector.
Mm-hmm.
First game, Anthony Davis gets hurt, and he hasn't played since, and they think he's going to still be out for another 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Doncic is still gone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last night, unfortunate again. Unfortunate. Kyrie Irving tears his ACL. Now
Wow.
he's out for the season.
I did not know that. Mm.
So now you got Kyrie Irving out,
Mm.
Anthony Davis out. You're missing your other big man, likely, and another one. And you don't have Doncic, and the Lakers have gone up to I think almost second place in the NBA West. I think
Mm-hmm.
second or third. They've
Mm-hmm.
had the best record over the last 22 games, 18-4.
Okay.
And Nico Harrison is sitting here with his team in 10th or 11th spot. Maybe make a playoff, may not make a playoff. And you made the move to get rid of Doncic. I will be the first to say sometimes you gotta make a gamble to make something happen. But
Mm-hmm.
this was one heck of a gamble he took, and I'm the way it's going. I'm not sure they're going to give him another chance there. And also, guess what they said yesterday? Ticket
Mm.
prices are going to go up 8% in Dallas.
Who's gonna pay for that? They need to
Say it
get those
again.
tickets. They need to get those tickets away now.
Say it again.
No, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Even if they do make the playoffs, they're gonna bow out in the first round,
And they will. The way it's looking now, if they get in, they're going to be in a play-in game.
pretty much. But you know that trade blindsided everybody. You know, AD said he didn't know it was coming. Doctor said he didn't know it was coming.
That's a deal that you took, and it looks good as long as you keep Davis healthy. Him going down keeps everybody's mind on the fact you got rid of a player that's one of the top 5 players in the league who is 25 years old who will only get better.
That's right. But you know about AD, and I was a big AD fan all the way from him coming from Kentucky. But obviously, you know his initial stands for always damaged. I mean, man, when he's right, he's right. But wow, Reminds me of Bill Walton. Always injured all the time.
Think about
But
all those years he lost when he was with the Clippers, or all
yeah,
those years lost after he got hurt with the Portland Trailblazers.
yeah,
You know, the foot injuries that he had were just unbelievable. And you think about if he had been healthy, because he is one of the best college players ever.
ever, ever.
And if he had stayed healthy, he would have been one of the best NBA players ever.
You got that right. Now, I was a big Bill Walton fan. There's no doubt about that.
Man,
Hey,
I
rest
tell
in
you.
peace. Yeah.
Hey, HJ, man, I don't know where the time goes, but tell us all where you're going to be at, where you're going to be announcing that coming up in the near future. Where you're going to be?
Oh, lots of good things, man. Let's see. March 15th, I'll be down in Lynchburg, Virginia, with a big fight card down there for them. Um, April. Oh, April 26th, and I want to invite you out to this. It's not boxing. I'll be the PA announcer for the Capitol Classic basketball, McDonald's All American basketball game at the
Oh,
Entertainment Sports Arena. I'll be doing that. And
congratulations.
thank you. That's April 26th. And then May 10th, I'll be at Rosecroft Raceway for a professional boxing event. And then let's see, June 21st, I'll be at Patapsco Arena for professional boxing. And then July 26th back at Maryland Live Casino. So those are the ones I know about so far.
Man, that's great, man. Hey,
Yeah,
man, I just got to say thank you for you being on the show. Class act, you're absolutely
thank you.
the best, not simply one of the best. You're the best
Too
that I
kind, too
know
kind.
to do the ring announcing, man. I always talk about you. I love you like a brother, man, and
Thank
just
you.
keep doing what you're doing.
Likewise.
For all you all, thank you for checking us out again today. Remember what we always tell you: watch some sports, watch some boxing, watch some football, watch some hockey, watch some basketball, men's and women's college basketball. But above all else, just watch some sports and come back and see us real soon.
And
Take care.
when you want all the sports news you can use, all the tea and the juice, always tune into John Webster and the Daily Deuce. Peace.
Y'all take care. See you.
God bless.